Joining us for today's Start Your Day with RTD. My name is Tony Pinkham, and I am the SBE Certification Specialist here at RTD. Joining me today is Crystal Kirkland, and she is one of the compliance officers here in the Small Business Opportunity Office here at RTD. We are just going to go through a couple items today to get you familiar with how to do business with RTD, the steps to take in order to get registered as a vendor, and also talk about SBE certification with you, our free certification program that we offer through RTD. So just some housekeeping items for today's meeting. Please keep your microphone muted. We'll just keep it muted unless you unmute yourself to ask questions. We'll just do a kind of a Q&A session at the end. Feel free to introduce yourself in the group chat here so that people get familiar with your company and the type of work that you do. Maybe do a little bit of marketing with the people that are inside of this presentation. We'll distribute the chat transcript to all attendees at the end, and we'll also send the YouTube video to everybody at the end as well, so that if you weren't able to attend or you want other people within your organization to be able to see this, you'll have access to do that. Like we said earlier, questions, we'll just do a Q&A at the end. Just go ahead, raise your hand, and we'll make sure that we go through that at the end and get all of your questions answered. Or if you don't feel like doing it that way, just go ahead and put it in the chat and we'll make sure that your questions get answered. This meeting is being recorded to have available as a resource. So by being in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. And with that being said, we'll do a quick safety moment with Crystal here, and then we'll get into the presentation. So go ahead, Crystal.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. The safety moment today is going to be using your humidifier, especially at night. Colorado air in the fall and winter gets pretty dry, so a lot of people will either get a lot of congestion or bloody noses. So if you just put a humidifier in your room and sleep with that, that will really help reduce those symptoms. So yeah, and then of course, drink your water, all of those things. Perfect. And we can get into the presentation now. So I'm going to walk through how to do business with RTD, primarily walking through our website and getting registered under our portal for solicitations. So we will start there. The first step is to actually go to our website, which is rtd-denver.com. On the top banner, you'll see a drop down that says doing business with RTD. So you'll do that and then go ahead. You'll see, once you click on that, you'll see that page. And then on this page, you'll see the 4 steps. So you'll need to register on our solicitation site, which is OpenGov. And by doing that, you'll just click on the number 1. You'll get, by doing that, you'll be able to look at all of the solicitations, IFBs, RFQs, RFPs. You'll download the bids. You'll be able to ask questions, see the followers, and yeah. So go ahead and click on that. So click on number 1, and it will bring you to this page, and you'll simply just need to enter your email address. Once you enter your email address, you'll hit subscribe, and you'll get an email to confirm. So if you want to go to the next slide, you'll need to activate your account. It's pretty easy. This step takes maybe 5 minutes. So just go ahead and click activate your account, and you'll follow the steps from there, which will be entering some pretty basic information. It's going to be your first name, your company name, your phone number, your address. Again, very basic. Once you create the basic profile, you'll need to provide your next codes. If you don't know what your next code is, you can even Google it, right? That is a 5-digit code that explains the scope of work that your company provides. So if you're a plumber, it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're an electrician, it might be 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So that just shows exactly what you do. And when you click on, for this example, it says AS up in the top right-hand corner. So you can click on that and then go ahead to the next slide. And then you'll need to go into your company profile. And once you click on your company profile, you'll see these three little tabs at the top, and it's the category codes, and that's where you can enter your next codes. I do suggest really investigating on which ones fit your company the best and enter all of them, right? So if you are a general contractor, you can do your general contractor code, but if you specialize in drywall and flooring, make sure to add that as well. When you get certified with us, Tony will really help you navigate what codes work best for you. So that will be a really good navigation too. So Tony's a really good outlet for that. Also, there's the certifications tab, which I really recommend you uploading all of your certificates that you have. Meaning, are you an SBE? Are you a DBE? Are you an MWBE? So make sure to upload those as well. I'll point out another benefit of doing that in a moment. But also uploading your next codes, I'm sorry, uploading your next codes, it's really important because once we have a solicitation, if that scope of work is associated with that solicitation, we will send you an email. So that's why it's really important to upload your next code. So if it's a plumbing job and you have a plumbing next code, you will get notified that there's a solicitation open for that. Okay, thank you. The second one is actually looking at the current solicitations. So if you click on number 2, it will bring you to this page. And then you'll need to click on current solicitations, which is the first box. And then once you click on that, you'll see all of our current solicitations. So this is up to date. Thank you for uploading that, Tony. I appreciate it. So here's all of the contracts or solicitations that we have currently posted. As you can see, we do have, if you're SBE certified, it will clearly state in the project title if there is an SBE goal. The second one, the 2026 Comprehensive Operational Analysis, has a 10% SBE goal. But there's also, a body frame machine or landscaping improvements. You can see that we have a very wide range of contracts at any current time. So let's just say that we want to look into a specific one. You simply click on the project title, and you will see the next page, this page. It gives you kind of an overview of the solicitation. It was the release date, the due date. You can look at the project documents and downloads, but you can't do that if you're not registered in OpenGov. So you have to do the first step of actually registering.
And sorry, Crystal, sorry,
yeah.
where did you find this list of the open options right now?
Yeah, so go back a little bit. So if you go to another slide, if you go to rtd-denver.com and you enter, the top banner says doing business with RTD. If you click on number 2, it says current solicitations. It will bring you to that page. And then you have to click current solicitations again. So it's kind of like repetitive, but yeah. So
thank you.
Just,
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so on this, and thank you for stopping me. If I'm going too fast, you let me know. I can slow it down a little bit. So on this page, once you're in the solicitation, there's these tabs where you can see followers is highlighted, and I really recommend you looking at this tab. And here's the reason why. Once you click on it, you'll see everybody that has downloaded that solicitation. So if you are an SBE, on the right-hand side, you can see that there's a prime. And if you don't want to be the prime, but you want to partner with the prime and be an certified firm to work under them, you can contact them. They're like, Barbara's information is right there. So you can call Barbara or send her an email saying, hey, I see that this solicitation has a 10% SBE goal and I'm SBE certified. So you can start partnering up. Remember when I said to make sure to upload your certifications? Well, here's another reason why. As you can see, 105 West, it's very hard to see, but if you have glasses on, you can underneath that their name, there's three gray boxes. It says SBE, MWB, and USDOT. Those are the certifications that they have. So if your solicitation has a 10% SBE goal, that prime could reach out to you as well and say, hey, I saw that you downloaded this information. You're interested and I need an SPE, so they could reach out to you too. So it's really important to make sure to upload that information as well. So that is a great networking tool to use, is that followers tool. And that is all I have for OpenGov and navigating the website. But Alexis has a question, so go ahead, Alexis.
Well, it's more a comment. Thank you, Crystal. So I'm Alexis Serrano, the Small Business Office Manager, with here today, Tony and Crystal. Appreciate what you're doing to explain, what is that we do in order to do business with RTD. This type of presentations are really important, so you know exactly how to navigate in our systems. So it might be similar to the city, it might be similar to other municipality, it might look similar to Denver Airport or CDOT, but I know we got certain aspects that make it a little bit different. So one thing that I will recommend is for you to navigate, spend time in OpenGov, spend time actually going through all solicitations, regardless if it's a solicitation you might actually don't have any opportunity to work around. The other thing is make sure you enter the right email. So once you're getting all the registration process, you can actually change the email. And if it's not you the one reviewing those solicitations, you want someone else in your team, maybe you don't have someone else, but if you have someone else and that person needs to be the one, make sure you add the correct email. Because one thing that we notice is that we post a lot of solicitations, small and mid-size, and we don't get responses. We don't get any response, any bid or any solicitation. And one more thing, if you actually submit your bid or your proposal and you're not the one getting awarded, please request a debrief meeting. Those debrief meetings can be requested through OpenGov as well. And what it means is you'll have from 20 to 30 minutes, maybe 15, just to talk to the procurement agent and ask the reasons why you were not the selected one. It's actually a learning opportunity for you. If you do it before the contract is awarded, they're going to talk to you about your proposal or bid only. But if you do it after the fact, once you see the project has been awarded, and actually that's another tab that you actually can navigate and see who actually got awarded the contract. You can then ask for the debrief meeting and say, hey, I submitted my bid and I was not the selected one. Was it because of the price? Was it because of my team? What was the reasons? So yeah. RTD has a great tool. And if you don't get any response, contact Crystal, contact Tony, contact me. We're going to get you to the right person to make sure that meeting is happening. So it is a great tool. We don't have hundreds of opportunities every week, but you have to navigate almost in a weekly basis because we update this procurement team actually update this specific list of solicitations almost in a weekly basis. That was it. Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you for adding that, Alexis. Appreciate it.
Tracy, Tracy, do you have a question regarding
my question is
that?
actually very related to what Alexis just said, so that was perfect transition. So thank you, Alexis, Tony, Crystal, for this information. I'm Tracy Graff with Fuse Igniting Communication. We do team and leadership development. And Tony, thank you. My question is related to as Alexis mentioned, the updating of the available opportunities, because Tony, you emailed yesterday, which I appreciate, with something that was in the subject line mentioned opportunity for board retreat facilitator. But then I was looking there where Crystal, you showed us the current solicitations, and I don't see anything like that related there. So does that sometimes happen that you email us about something, but it's not listed on the portal yet?
So that's going to be, I can answer that one. So that's going to be like a future solicitation. So what happens is
Okay.
whenever the compliance officers like Crystal, Jose, or Vashi, our team of compliance officers, they receive a solicitation that's going to come out. What they do is a goal analysis on those to see if there is a possibility to put these SBE goals that we were talking about earlier in the presentation
Mm,
onto those particular projects. So they do a goal analysis and then they'll send me that information. And if you're not certified, with RTD, we will reach out to you directly like I did yesterday. So if you haven't
okay.
seen that opportunity, in the OpenGov procurement portal, it's probably coming down the pipeline, so it might not be posted just yet. So
Gotcha.
I would just definitely keep an eye on that and make sure that when it does get posted, so you kind of got a little bit of a heads up on things that are coming down the pipeline. A little
Great.
bit of a little bit of a push to hopefully get you SB certified, so that if there is any goals that are attached to that, then you will be able to count towards those SB participation goals.
Gotcha. Thank you. Okay.
Absolutely.
One more thing that I want to mention, Tony, don't wait until there's a contract that you want to submit your bid or proposal to get through the certification process. Tony will talk about the certification now, but get certified now. Don't wait until 2026. So the process, Tony will explain the process, but you want to be certified by the time you see that solicitation out. And
Hmm.
and please share your information. I want to get a little bit more, and maybe you already did. Everyone in this meeting, share your contact. If you need to know someone doing maybe concrete, maybe today is the time that you can meet that person. Maybe someone that can help you putting together proposals or bids. I see Virginia in the call. I mean, they do that kind of business, supporting others, how to put together bids and solicitations. That's why we do this kind of meetings. So you network and you get the right person to work with you.
Thank you.
Cool. I can't see, are there any more questions? I don't want to pull up the chat while we're in the middle of the presentation, but are there any questions we haven't answered yet, guys?
Nope, you're good, Tony. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. So now that we've talked a little bit about, how to do business with RTD, anybody could do business with RTD, regardless of your certification status with us, or with any other agencies in the state. But I do want to talk briefly about our certification program, how it's a little bit different, a little quicker, a little easier than other certifying agencies. And yeah, just go through this quick little presentation with you here. So what is an SBE? Just a quick little definition here. Independently operating small business owned and controlled by one or more economically disadvantaged individuals. So the economically disadvantaged individuals portion is what we mainly focus on. So there are two main things that we look at as far as economically disadvantaged. It's going to be the personal net worth of the 51% or more majority owners, and the gross sales for the firm. So the gross sales for the firm on a 5-year average cannot exceed 31.84 million, and the personal net worth of each qualifying owner, and I'll explain that here in just a second, can't exceed 2,047,000. So for an example, say you have 33% ownership with 3 owners. 2 of those 3 owners are going to have to qualify under the economically disadvantaged segment here, meaning that their personal net worth will have to be below 2.047 million, excluding any IRA retirement accounts and equity in your primary residence. So those are 2 things that do get backed out of the calculation. But keep in mind, depending on the amount of owners you have to hit that 51% threshold. So you might need, 2, 3 people to hit this economically disadvantaged segment here. So here are some differences between the DBE certification and the SBE certification that we offer. So DBE certification, SBE certification, the main difference between the two is you could associate DBE certifications with federally funded projects, where DBE certification, if there's any federally funded or any federal dollars being used, the DBE certification is utilized. If it's a locally funded project, it's local dollars, SBE certifications are utilized. So DBE certification agencies are for Colorado, the Colorado Department of Transportation, and the City and County of Denver. SBE certifications you could get through RTD, a couple other agencies as well offer the SBE certifications. DBE certifications, your firm will be placed on the Colorado Unified Certification Program database, SBE certification through RTD, your firm is listed on RTD's SBE program directory. So you could go straight to RTD's website, download a list of all the certified firms that we have, their capabilities, their NAICS codes, so on and so forth. And your name will be posted on that at the end of whatever month that you get certified. So say you get certified today, on the 1st of December, your firm will now be available on a public facing platform so that it's another marketing tool for your firm. So anybody could go to that website and they could take a look at your firm, see what you guys do. So DBE certifications must be honored by anybody accepting financial assistance by the U.S. Department of Transportation's. And SB certification, this is a good point for our particular certification. It is utilized by RTD, Denver Public Schools, and Denver Water. So Denver Public Schools, Denver Water, they accept our certification. And think about it as like a 3-in-1 certification. So if RTD doesn't have any opportunities for you that you want to jump on immediately, you're always welcome to go to Denver Public Schools platform, Denver Water's platform, and take a look at the opportunities that they have, and our certification will be valid with them as well. So why should your firm be a certified SBE? First and foremost, no cost for processing or certification. So won't cost you anything to get registered as a vendor. It won't cost you anything to get certified. And it's a great marketing tool for your firm just to have that SBE certified tag attached to your company name. No cost marketing tool and increased visibility and contact with primes and agencies. So as Crystal showed you earlier today, through OpenGov, you have all the information you could possibly want on these prime contractors, on other subcontractors, so that you could get your foot in the door, do a little bit of work with these primes, these other subs, and get your name out there. It's another great marketing tool for your firm. Contract clauses like prompt payment, retainage release, and non-termination for convenience. So those are big things for small businesses. The prompt payment is a major thing, making sure that you guys are getting paid regardless of if RTD's been paid or if the prime's been paid. You guys are going to be taken care of in that fashion. So opportunities to fulfill and count towards SBE contract goals on all locally funded projects and invitations to pre-bid meetings. So as Crystal showed earlier, if there are any of these solicitations that have SBE goals attached to them, your participation is going to help the prime meet their goals as well. So we don't recommend just looking at the ones with only SBE goals, because it doesn't have to have an SBE goal for you to work on it. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't, that's not relevant. You don't have to have an SBE goal for you to be able to work on it. It just helps towards the prime's goals if you are SBE certified and it does have an SBE goal. So here is a list of scopes of work that we typically deal with over the years. This is a very, very large list, so I'm not going to go through them one by one. But these are all opportunities that RTD has had here in the last 2 years. And just go ahead and take a quick look at this. I'm not going to go through all of them, but it ranges in a wide, diverse way of different types of scopes of work: pavement, concrete, graffiti removal, snow removal, janitorial, custodial, marketing, communication, consulting, a lot of things, engineering, architectural services, legal services, HR training and development. So as you can see, it's all over the place. And we definitely don't know exactly what's coming down the pipeline, but that's why we recommend that you take a look, you stay active in the OpenGov procurement portal, because we never know what's coming next, and it might just be a perfect fit for your firm. So I will move on to the next slide here. So does your firm qualify to become an SBE? So we went over a couple of the major things, and we'll kind of touch on those again. But the business must be at least 51% owned by one or more individuals whose personal net worth is less than 2.047 million. So as we said, depending on the amount of owners, you do have to hit this 51% threshold. So just another example, like we talked about earlier. So say there's 3 or 4 owners, and or make it 5 owners, and 2 of them don't meet the requirement. That doesn't disqualify you. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to hit this 51%. However you hit this 51% is up to your firm. So say you have some owners that don't meet this 2.047 million threshold, then you could use other ownership interest in that firm, have them apply to meet this 51%. So if you do have owners that don't meet this, doesn't mean that your firm doesn't qualify. So just keep that in mind. The owners must be U.S. citizens or lawfully admitted permanent residents. And the average gross receipts for the business for the past, we use a 3-year average, but if we need to use a 5-year average to get you to qualify, we will. But we're only looking, as you'll see in the documents, needed list, we're only looking for 3 years of your firm's tax returns. So if you qualify on an average of those 3 years under 31.84 million, you're going to be good to go. If we need a couple additional years, so say when you go back a couple additional years, you had some lower gross sales, and we'll use 5 years to make sure that you're under this 31.84 million. Qualifying owners must demonstrate, and these are big things here, ownership, control, and independence of the business. So the ownership obviously is pretty easy to determine based off of your tax returns. A couple additional searches that I could do to demonstrate the ownership. That's an easy one, but you need to be able to control your firm and be independent of any other firms. So you got to be able to run your own show, essentially, be able to demonstrate to me who's in control of the firm, who's making the decisions, so on and so forth. So, and another big thing with, the recent changes to the DBE regulation, RTD's SBE program is open to any qualifying business, regardless of the race or gender of its owner. So that does not matter for our SBE certification. We are focused primarily on the economically disadvantaged side of things, about the 2.047 million and the gross sales of the firm. Race, gender is completely irrelevant when it comes to our certification program. So what is the certification process? What does it look like? We are utilizing B2G now. If you're familiar with that platform, it's the same one that city and county uses. Super easy platform to use, but you'll submit your application and supporting documents through B2G now. I'll receive that on my end, a notification that a new application's been received. I'll do a preliminary review of it, make sure all of your documents are uploaded, all the information is filled out correctly. And if I do have any additional documentation or any questions in regards to the documentation I received, I will definitely reach out to you, typically within, whenever I get the application, within 24 hours. As long as it's not a weekend, I'll get back to you and let you know, if there's anything missing, if we need anything else. So once I receive those documents back, certification application review will, be finalized there. If there's any manufacturers in here or suppliers, we will have to do a site visit. It's not very often that we get too many of those, but that is a necessary part of the process if you are a manufacturer, have a manufacturer code, or a supplier of goods. That's not, secondhand wholesaling or something like that. So, and then we'll do a certification determination. Typically, we ask for 45 days to complete this process, but our current turnaround times are, ranging anywhere from about 7 to 10 days from start to finish. As long as you get me the documents that I'm looking for, within a reasonable time frame after I ask for them, you shouldn't have any issues with getting your certification within a week's time. So, what do you need to apply? So the RTD SB application, which will be done through B2G now. RTD specific personal financial statement for each owner who makes up 51 or more ownership of the firm. So this is where you'll fill out your personal finances. So make sure that you get under that 2.047 million, but keep in mind that you have to use RTD specific form that you'll be able to download through B2G now. I do see some from time to time that people will submit the personal net worth statement from the city and county. It has to be the RTD version, so I don't want to have to kick it back to you. If you are considering getting certified, make sure that you download the RTD specific one so that I don't have to kick it back to you and waste some time getting you certified. So federal tax returns for the firm and all affiliates for past 3 to 5 years. We discussed that earlier. If you're under 31.84, just submit the 3 years. If you need a couple additional years to get under, feel free to submit 5 years. Personal federal tax returns for each owner for the past 3 years. Current resumes of all owners, directors, officers, and key personnel. So when you're filling out your application through B2G Now, you will see a section that pretty much breaks down who within your office does which portions of what kind of work. So whenever you put people into those boxes, we consider that key personnel, and I will ask for resumes just to make sure they have, the education experience needed to perform those scopes of work on behalf of your firm. Licenses and certification required for firms' operations. So typically this is going to be for, an engineering, NAICS code. I'll ask for engineering license, sometimes general contractor licenses, things of that nature, are what we're looking for when it comes to licenses and certifications. Anything that's going to be required by the state of Colorado or any particular municipality, city, please upload those licenses and certifications so I don't have to kick the file back to you to get those from you to make sure that you can perform the work that you want to perform. Certificate of good standing by the Colorado Secretary of State. So simply just go to the Colorado Secretary of State website or do a Google search for business entity search. Type in your business name, scroll down, and you should be able to just pull a certificate of good standing straight from there, within a minute or two. Certificate of trade name by Colorado Secretary of State. This is only applicable to firms that are doing business as, so DBAs. We got to make sure that we get that trade name so that we could get you listed properly within the database, with your DBA name as well as your name. So statement of foreign entity authority by Colorado Secretary of State. I'm not sure if we have any out-of-state people attending this meeting, but this is particularly important to you. You'll need a statement of foreign entity saying that you are authorized by the state of Colorado to conduct business in the state of Colorado. And what you need in order to do that is going to be a address in the state of Colorado. So a physical address, not a PO box, and then you'll be able to get that statement of foreign entity quite easily. So itemized list of equipment owned and leased by the firm. That is going to be for, if you're just, a consultant and you just have office equipment, I'll just have you write a document that says standard office equipment. But this is mainly for, concrete construction firms proving to us that you have the equipment or access to the equipment through leasing to be able to perform the work that you're trying to get certified in. So the last thing we want to happen is you get a bid or you submit a bid or a proposal, you win it, and now you don't have the right equipment to perform the job. So that's why we make sure that you have the correct equipment or access to get the correct equipment to perform the work that you're looking to get certified in. Another couple notes here: RTD SV certification free of charge, and site visits will be required for suppliers. We kind of touched on that already. So with that being said, where do you send your documents to? So if you want to take a look at this, this is B2G Now. This is going to be the link. We could also send it to you if you want. You could shoot an email to this sbo@rtd-denver.com. Typically, we like everything to go through B2G Now. So it's a really easy platform to use. But if for whatever reason you can't utilize B2G Now, you could always submit your documents to the sbo@rtd-denver.com email address, and I could create a portal for you, and then I could upload those documents and get you certified that way. But best way to do it is to go into B2G Now yourself, because you will have to submit your annual updates and recertifications through there. So being able to be familiar with the platform is a huge plus, because every year we will ask for an annual update, which is just your firm's no change affidavit, pretty much saying there's been no major significant changes to the firm's structure or ownership, and then your firm's most recent tax returns. And then every 6 years you will have to recertify with us. So we'll go through the application process again, get all the documents again, but that only happens every 6 years. So being familiar with the portal is definitely important so that you can be up to date on your recertification and annual updates. So with that being said, here's some more information. Alexis, who's joined us here, he is the Small Business Opportunity Manager. I forgot to change Jose's name here, but there's my information, SB Certification Specialist. That's one of our compliance officers, Jose Chirinos, and Crystal is also a compliance officer with us. So you can reach out to her if you have any questions regarding, solicitations. You'll usually in the procurement portal, you'll go to the documents tab and you scroll to the bottom of that. And if it's in regards to solicitations, there will be a procurement officer attached to it and you could reach out to them. But if there's contracting opportunities or anything you want to speak about with our compliance officers, you could reach out to Jose or grab Crystal's information as well. And you could reach out to them about that. So with that being said, we thank you for being here on the presentation today, and we will open it up to any questions that you guys might have.
Alexis and Tracy, both. Alexis, do you want to go first?
No, I don't have a question.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Well, then we'll go to Tracy.
Hi, I have another question. So this sounds similar to the level of complication and time that it took for us to apply, if those of us that are Denver certified also. Is that similar? Would you compare it in about the amount of time and effort it takes to apply?
I wouldn't. And here's why. So our application is extremely simplified. When we went through a very lengthy process with B2G Now to implement this whole process, and we only took the questions that were absolutely necessary to certification purposes and enter those into our application. So on other applications, you could see that, there's a lot of repetitive questions. We did a lot of due diligence on our end to simplify the application process, because the last thing we want is people to start the process and then not finish it due to the, it's very time consuming. We know that you guys are extremely busy. But we wanted to simplify the process, to get you through A to Z, quickly, timely. So that's why it's only taken us about 7 days to get through the process. We're only asking for things that affect your certification status. I'm not going to go back and forth with you on something that's irrelevant to you getting certified. So if it's something that I don't absolutely need, I'm not going to ask for it. And in addition to that as well, there is a way when you log in to your B2G Now portal, you could pull the application information from your city and county application into our application. It won't allow you to pull documents, but it will allow you to transfer the main information, such as ownership information, addresses, phone numbers, all that other stuff, so that you don't have to go and type that in. So there will be a button that says, when you start the application process, that says transfer relevant information from previous applications into this one. You just click that and most of it will fill out for you. I believe our application is only 3 pages long. There's only 3 sections, very easy to fill out. So we do understand that it is time consuming, but if you need anything from me, let me know and I'll get you taken care of. But yeah, it's significantly faster. So.
Thanks. And sorry, you might have said this and I missed it, but can we start it and save it if we can't finish it in the same sitting or whatever?
Correct. I believe they're good for 120 days and then it'll auto delete. So if you don't finish it within 120 days, but I believe on your end, there's a button that says extend. I could also extend it on my end too. But 120 days won't be necessary at all. So you'll see that when you dig into it.
Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
And we have Tony Gonzalez. You have a question?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to thank you, Crystal, Tony, Alexis, for putting this on. This information is invaluable. My question was, I think I may have heard Alexis say that, but correct me if I'm wrong, Alexis, but does RTD offer any workshops or training to help potential vendors understand and respond to RFPs?
To understand, I'm sorry, to understand what?
To understand RFPs, so to be able to understand and be able to correctly respond to RTD's RFPs.
Yes, actually, we just did one where people from contracting and procurement were explaining step by step what is important when you submit a bid or proposal. Also, we include people from other areas like consulting and capital programs. And they went specifically over every single aspect, including evaluation process, costs, and everything else. So that particular session was in person. So unfortunately, we didn't save it. We're going to repeat it again, most likely the first quarter of next year. But there is always a meeting with the small business office where we discuss a little bit of information, maybe not the entirely focus on how to put together, RFPs or bids, but always there's something that you can learn from our sessions. Or we can actually get a one-on-one meeting with you to support your business if it's something that will help you, to start doing business with RTD. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Now, if I needed or wanted a one-on-one, who would I reach out to?
You can reach out to me. I actually share my contact information. You can reach out
Okay.
to Crystal, to Jose, to Tony. We're gonna make sure you get that meeting going on, and then we're gonna navigate with you on the process. Not exactly the same we did today, but we can actually get more details for you and clarify any specific questions.
Sure. Okay. No, that helps. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I want to mention something else, but I don't know if there's another question pending.
Nope, there's no more questions pending. So you're up, Alexis.
Thank you, Crystal. So we have at least 70 projects where we set goals at this point, and that represents over 300 certified firms working in RTD. In terms of money, in terms of dollar, it's pretty much like $220 million going specifically to subcontracting opportunities where a firm is actually a certified firm. So when we ask you to really consider getting certified with RTDs, because we want you to get that piece of a cake, that piece of a pie, so we can certify that you're small. Everyone said, I'm a small business, but unless we certify that you are based on these thresholds that Tony was mentioning, we cannot give you and grant you those particular benefits. Also, when we don't have goals, you still can bid and you can be awarded. Currently, we have about 32 projects that has been recently completed or still active that we didn't have any goal, but a certified firm is the awarded prime. That particular 33 projects represents about $32 million in contracting opportunity. So please take the time. I know it's time consuming, but again, it's important. And not only take the time to get certified, but take the time to navigate in OpenGov and go through those particular solicitations. Follow the one that you are interested. So potential primes, like Crystal was mentioning, potential primes can look your name and contact you. Only when you follow those particular procurements is when your information is going to be listed right there.
We have another, thank you, Alexis. I agree with all of that. Joanne's Transport, you have a question?
Yes, good morning, everyone. So
Morning.
I have a question about the SBA program. So my name is Hani. I am the owner of Johannes Transport, and it's small and women-owned business providing transportation to Colorado to people from one place to a different place. So my question is, I have currently started to become DSBO certified through Denver County, and can I still apply for SBA and SBE program? And also, I have not seen the list of services from the list of services, transportation as one of the opportunity. Is that something that's not going to be part of the service if I am certified SBE?
So I could touch on the first part, and then I'll let Crystal or Alexis touch on the transportation, because we definitely have, a lot of transportation needs, different types. But as far as the SBE certification, city and county does offer their own, but a lot of confusion comes when you get certifications through city and county that they think that they're intertwined with RTD certification. So just keep in mind that they are two completely different certifications. We're two completely different agencies, and they aren't affiliated with one another. So just because you're certified with one doesn't mean you're certified with the other. So just keep that in mind, and we are trying to utilize our database of SBEs for any locally funded projects prior to dipping into anybody else's. So just keep that in mind there. So to answer your question simply, yes, if you are applying for other certifications, the alphabet soup, other acronyms with the city and county, you could still apply for our SB certification as well. They do have their own, but ours is completely separate. So if Alexis or Crystal want to touch on transportation type contracts or opportunities, please feel free to do so now. So.
Sure,
do you
I
have
can
that?
take it. Oh,
Yeah.
do you want me to take it,
Yeah, go ahead.
Alexis? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
We do have a contract. We have 5 contracts that represent transportation, and there's 3 of them in particular that I think that might be of interest to you. However, that contract does not expire until 2027. So it is going to be a couple of years until that contract is renewed, but that doesn't mean that we might not have anything in between. That contract is pretty large, so, but we could still, I think RTD is trying to hire out Bronco rides and bringing in some special rides again. We're developing that program to come back on, and so we don't know if we're going to need additional services to contract out at that time. So I do think it would be super beneficial for you to get certified with RTD because, like I said, we do have one contract, but it's 2027, but we also have a lot of things working within our operations team that wants to amp up some special ride services as well.
Sounds good.
Does that answer your question? Did Tony and I both answer it, or do you want some further clarification?
No, you pretty much answered everything, but I forgot to ask about the, my business established in 2023, so it's just 3 years old. So would that limitation of applying, since I heard something about 5 years?
Yeah, absolutely not. So we actually do certify a lot of startup companies. So people that, have started their firm very recently or within the last, year or so or two, and they don't have, the full 3 years tax returns. That is not a disqualifier at all. You will submit the amount of tax returns for your firm that you have readily available. And it's not a disqualifier if you don't have a full 3 years. To apply, you don't need the full 3 years. So even if you just started a few months ago and you're interested in working with RTD or doing business with RTD, you could still apply for our program.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anything else, Crystal?
Not that I see. I think
Okay.
we're good. And
All right.
Alexis, you answered some questions in the chat, so thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
I was going to say someone wants a copy of the chat. The question was answered there, but Crystal or Tony will be sending copy of the chat,
Yep.
so you'll have access to all people that share the contact info. You still have like another minute to share your contact info. Please do so before we finish the meeting if you want to be included in that particular chat.
Yep. And then I put my email in the chat too. So if you're interested in getting certified, you can send me an email and we can talk about it. Tony's in there too. So yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for attending. We really appreciate it. And hopefully you got a lot of your questions answered that you might have had prior to doing this training with us. And if you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to any of us, and we'll make sure we get you in the hands of the right people if we can't answer your questions directly. So once again, thank you very much and have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you, Tony,
Thanksgiving.
Crystal.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Bye-bye.